That region of the world called Southeast Asia, Southeast Asia, Southeast Asia, Southeast Asia, Southeast Asia.
Okay, so these are three main concepts: the mandala, localization, and the man of prowess. Now, in some ways, we can kind of understand why people would come up with these ideas, because in the immediate years after World War II, when this field of Southeast Asian studies was developing, people really struggled to try to figure out if this is actual region of the world, what ties it together. And they may have kind of overextended themselves in trying to identify things. But there's something else that's a little bit more interesting, I think. If you notice, all of these things that define Southeast Asia are very positive. This idea of the mandala, it's not a coercive state that's policing its borders. It's flexible. It's non-exclusive. The man of prowess is not up there demanding that people follow his will. It's just because he is a man of prowess, people willingly do this. And localization, right, it makes the people in Southeast Asia look smart, they're creative, they're flexible. All of these things make the societies there look very positive. So here's the question I think we have to ask. Is there a region of the world where basically life has been better than other places? Or are all regions of the world basically the same in that sometimes times are good, but at other times they're lousy, where there are good governments, there are bad governments, there's smart people, there's stupid people? To me, I think the latter is the case. I don't think Southeast Asia is any exception to the rest of the world. They had bad politics, sometimes good politicians. They did good things, they did bad things. It's all the same as any other place. So we shouldn't be coming up with these kind of positive markers to define this region. We should be doing it in a way that shows that this region is as part of the rest of the world. The other thing that's important is that if we're going to look at Southeast Asia as part of the world, then it doesn't make sense to take concepts that exist in other parts of the world and give them different names in Southeast Asia. Charisma already exists. We don't have to call it a man of prowess in Southeast Asia. The concept of diffuse political power already exists. We don't need the concept of the mandala to try to differentiate Southeast Asia. And like I said, everyone localizes, so there's no reason to see this as in some way special or a defining feature of a region, because everyone in the world does this. So when we do take these universal concepts and then give them special terms, essentially what we do is to provincialize scholarship. We try to say that what we're doing here is different, but in reality it's not. And that breaks down conversations, it breaks down the ability for the people to communicate. And that, to me, just limits our ability to understand an area rather than enhances it. So these are three key concepts in the field of Southeast Asian studies that have been there for decades, and as far as I'm concerned, it's time to move beyond them. We should be producing scholarship not for a field, but for humanity. And when you produce scholarship for humanity, you don't break up the world into different areas and try to say that a certain area is unique. Instead, what you realize is that there are commonalities across the world, and we should examine these commonalities to try to get a deeper understanding of the human condition. That was more than a minute. Oh.
Southeast Asia, Southeast Asia, South.